Hi, I'm Jason Carr, and today I want to talk briefly about a disease that's really prevalent in the northern soybean growing regions of the United States, and that's white mold. Now, like any other disease, white mold is a disease that can really be a bigger problem in some years than it is in others, and really a lot of that's dependent on the growing conditions. So, if we have a lot of moisture down in the canopy, that's really going to facilitate white mold development. Now, white mold is one of the easiest diseases to identify. There's this white moldy appearance on the stems and on the pods, and there's these black structures called sclerotia. These are going to be mostly found on the outside of the plant, on the pods and stems, but also oftentimes if you split inside the stem, you can find them inside, and they're commonly described as looking like mouse droppings. Now, these are going to be the inoculum for the disease in the next year. Another structure you might find in the field with heavy white mold pressure is these mushroom-looking structures that grow out of the soil. These are called apothecia, and these are fruiting structures also of the white mold fungus. Now, white mold development is favored really by cool, wet growing conditions. So when we plant a breeding plot looking for varieties that are more resistant to or tolerant of the disease, we really want to try to create an environment where the disease will thrive. In this case, plant pathologists chose a field that had natural inoculum from heavy disease pressure last year, and then they surrounded it with corn to limit air movement and hopefully to increase disease pressure. You can see here that it's been pretty effective in that we have good disease development in some plots, and then sometimes in the plot right next to it, the plants are much healthier. So we're really able to kind of identify some differences between varieties, which is really the goal of this research. White mold is often called a high yield disease because it's often a bigger challenge in soybean varieties with high yield potential. This is because the same factors that lead to higher yield, such as robust plant growth and early canopy, also create an environment in which white mold can thrive. Fields like this one can help identify varieties that are both high yielding and less susceptible to white mold infection. In addition to utilizing less susceptible varieties, there are some cultural practices that farmers can incorporate to help lessen the impact of this disease. Using wider row spacing and lowering soybean populations can help increase air movement beneath the canopy, which helps limit disease progression. Fungicides are also effective tools. The disease infects the plant through the flowers, so fungicides are most effective against white mold at the R1 growth stage when the plant begins to flower. Many growers also see a benefit from a second fungicide application at R3 or later. Thanks for your time. If you have any questions about white mold management or the role of plant breeding in developing resistant varieties, please reach out to your Corn States representative.